Today we're going to be creating charged abilities in Unreal Engine 5. So you can see in my example I have just a normal jump, which if we hold down spacebar we can jump even higher, and the final result of your ability depends on how much you have charged it, and you can customize this completely to set different caps, different limits, the amount of time you have to hold it, and also any ability you want. So it doesn't have to be jump, it could be attacking, it could be jumping, it could be running, it could be absolutely anything you want, any form of ability. This is how we can charge it. So this is what we're going over and creating today. So without further ado, let me delete this code and I'll show you how I've done it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create an input action for our ability. So I'm going to hit Control Space to open up my content browser and then find where I have my actions, which for me is in Content, Input, Actions, and then we have them here. I'm going to right click, go to Input, Input Action, and I'm going to name this one IA_charged jump. As again, in my example, I'm doing a jump, but you can do anything you want. If you really want, you could also do every ability on this one single action. However, I'd recommend doing separate abilities on separate actions. We're going to open this up straight away, and all we want to do in here is we want to go down to Triggers and add an array element, and we want to set this to down. You may think you want hold or hold and release, but we don't. We want to do down because we want to make sure we are triggering this immediately while the player is holding it down, not after a certain time. We can close this, and then we want to open up our input mapping context. So for me, that is in my input folder, and then IMC default. I'm going to open this up, add a mapping. I'm going to set this to my IA_charged jump, and I'm going to set this to be my space key. Again, you can set this to whatever you want, so it can be left mouse button, or F, or Q, or space, or any button you want. Just set it in here. Then we're going to open up our character blueprint. Now, if it makes more sense for you to be in a different blueprint for your ability, go ahead and do it there. But for me, I'm going to do it in my character blueprint, which is Content, Third Person, Blueprints, BP, Third Person Character, but just open up whichever character it is for you. Now, because I'm doing a new jump ability, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect the jump action event by default because I'm creating a new one, so I don't want this to mess about with it. However, if you're not doing jump, don't worry about that. We're then going to find some empty space and right click in this and search for what we named our input action. So I named mine IA_charged jump, and we want the enhanced action events, not action value. And then we can open up this drop down here to have access to all of these different execution pins here. So what we want to do is we want to be using the triggered seconds to determine the strength of our charge, as basically however long the player is holding down the button is represented by this triggered seconds here. So we're going to come out of this and we're going to get an in range float, like so. And I'm going to have the minimum as 0 and the maximum as 1, and I'm not going to include the max. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to cap my charge at 1. So whatever you want your cap to be, set it to that. So for me, after the player has held down space for 1 second, they're no longer charging up their ability any further. If you want this to be 2 seconds or 5 seconds, you can put that number in here. If you don't want a limit, just ignore this in range. However, I would definitely recommend a limit. Then we want to hold down B and left click to get a branch, connecting the return value into the condition, and this branch execution is going to be going into triggered of our input action. So while the player is holding down their button, which for me is space, it is going to be firing this off as long as it has not been more than a second. After this, off of true, what we want to do is we want to be increasing our charge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 variables. My first one is going to be called default jump velocity, and I'm going to set that to a float. Now, this is going to be just the default power for your ability. So again, mine is a jump ability, so I'm doing a jump velocity. However, name this and set the variable type to whatever makes the most sense for your ability. So if you're doing damage, then float is probably the best for you as well. And to be honest, for most abilities, float is probably going to be the one you want to go with. But again, set it custom for you. Then we're going to create another variable, and I'm going to call this one charged jump velocity, or again, whatever makes sense for you. We'll compile this, and then we'll go and select the default jump velocity and set this to what we want this to be if there's no power. So what I'm going to do is set this to 500, as that is my default. Then I'm going to set charged jump velocity off of true, like so. And what I want to do is increase the default by a certain amount based upon how long the player has been holding down the button. So I'm going to come out of triggered seconds and get an addition, and I'm going to add 1. Then I'm going to come out of this and get a multiply, and I'm going to multiply that by my default jump velocity. This is then going to go into my set charged jump velocity here. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm essentially increasing the default jump velocity by a certain percentage. So, for example, if the player has held this down for half a second, this triggered seconds is going to be 0.5. If I add 1 to that, it's 1.5. And if I do 1.5 times my default, I'm increasing my default by 50%. So if you want this to be even stronger, you can do +2 instead. And that would then obviously be 150% instead of just 50%. Or you can do any other type of math to increase this jump velocity. But for me, this makes the most sense for a charged ability. So I'm going to move this over here a little bit just to keep this looking nice and organized. I'll double click this as well to get some reroute nodes. And so this is again going to now cap out at 1 second, so at 100%, so I've doubled my jump velocity. Now what we could also do is set the in-range minimum to 0.1, for example, so the player has to have held it down for 0.1 second in order to increase the jump velocity. So if they just tap it, it's not going to do any increase, it's just going to do the normal default. Now after we have increased our charge, we want to actually do our ability. So we're going to do this off of completed. So drag it off of completed and then just call whatever your ability is. So for me, that is going to be jump. Again, if this is attacking, then you want to do your attack code here. So that would be play an animation and do a line trace or a sphere trace or whatever it is for you. But again, for me, I'm just jumping. Now this bit here is where it's going to get very different depending on your ability. So again, I'll show you for jump and I'll talk you through some other examples. So what I want to do as well is I want to drag a reference to the character movement. And out of this, I'm going to set jump velocity, or jump Z velocity, I should say, sorry. And that is going to go out of completed and into the jump like so. So I'm putting this set jump velocity in between the completed and my actual jump ability. Then I'm going to set this to be whatever my charged jump ability is. And so what I'm also going to do actually is set the default value of my charged jump to 500, just in case the player doesn't hold it and again they just press it. We don't increase the charge jump, so we want that to still be the default anyway. So we compile and save, and that is that set up. Now again, if you're, for example, doing a damage, what you want to do here is use your charged damage variable into your attacking code, or put that into your apply damage node, for example. Or if you're doing sprinting, you'd want to come out of the character movement and set max walk speed, and then go into your normal walking code. Again, there are many different variations of how to do this. And unfortunately, I can't cover all of them, obviously. I'm just doing what I think is probably going to be the most common one, which is a jump. And if you do want any specific help with your own abilities, then leave a comment in the description down below. Or send a message in my Discord server is where you're more likely to get a response, as I sometimes get quite a lot of notifications on YouTube. It's quite hard to keep up with them all. So if you send a message in the Discord server, either I will help you or anyone else in the community. There's lots of active people just ready to help everyone. So send a message there if you would like some more specific help. But I'm going to test this out now. So if I minimize this and hit play, see if I just jump, I just tap it, we do our normal jump. If I have to hold it for a little bit, we jump a bit higher. If I have to hold it for a full second, we're going to jump even higher. So you can see this is already immediately working. It's nice and easy to set up these charged abilities based upon how long the player is holding down a certain button. It's going to change the charge of what that is currently doing. So again, for me, I've done a jump in which I can go from either just a normal jump or all the way up to doubling the height of my jump. And again, you can limit this to any number and value that you want. But I think that'll be it for this video, as we've done everything we've wanted to do. What we've gone over and set up today is creating charge abilities. So you hold down a button, and that is then going to increase the power of said ability for however long you are holding down the button for. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please do make sure to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help me and the channel out a lot. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.